Well, we are back, and I literally took a beating from Creig on the break because he laughs at me because when I get on a tangent and I said heterozygous, homozygous, and he's like thinking, these people don't understand that, and that's true. We're talking about genotypes, and genes obviously are you've seen the commercials, 23andMe and whatever. So every human has 23 genes, mother and father, two sets. And so when you're heterozygous, the genes are different. When they're homozygous, the genes are basically the same. So it's very complex, but for LDL receptor issues, if you're a homozygous LDL receptor issue, those are the people that die in their 20s of heart attacks, okay? No matter how much they watch their cholesterol, no matter what they do, they always die at an early age, and this product may be the answer for them. If you're heterozygous, you have a good gene and a bad gene, okay? That's when you run the 160, 170 bad cholesterols and the 260, 270 total cholesterol. So those are the heterozygous people that benefit from that, and those people usually cannot tolerate statins for some reason also. So obviously, no matter what you're doing, every prescription that we give you is an adjunct and add-on to a good low cholesterol diet. And it's not necessarily low cholesterol, I should say that, that's a misnomer. It's a low saturated fat diet.
Yep.
Okay. And the American Heart Association recommends a 20-gram saturated fat, 40-gram total fat. So how much is that? A McDonald's hamburger patty, not the Big Mac, but a regular hamburger patty, is 100 grams in weight, 40% fat. So your entire fat for the day is in one little McDonald's hamburger patty. Just never figured the fries and everything else. You're way over that, and that's why we see so many cholesterol-related. John is on the phone.
Hey, John.
John, are you there?
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I am. Let me mute my TV. All right, there we go.
Yeah, you should do
Listen,
that.
I've been watching your show for I don't know, almost a year. I'm going to be 65 in a few months. I've got this Medicare beating at my door from everybody. You know, Humana here, there, AARP. But I like your shows. I like your information. I think as a doctor, you would probably be my choice. So here's my question. I'm offered Part A for free, and then there's Part B in which they charge a fee. If I go Medicare, and I'm a veteran, if I go Medicare with you, what am I not getting compared to Humana and the other people? So there's my question.
Good question.
And before I sign off, one other thing. We don't have to worry about what's in the sky. We got to worry about the election. Okay. I'm waiting on you now.
Yeah, that's the head fake, right? Look up at the clouds and forget what's happening in front of you. Yeah, all right, that's a good point.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about up there in that sky. We just got to look down straight ahead.
That's very good, John. Thank you for
All right,
pointing that out.
I'm waiting on you. Thank you for your kindness.
Yeah. Well, I think we're getting to the open enrollment period, right?
It is.
And
John
is one of those cases where when you're getting ready to turn 65, your name goes out on a list and everybody contacts you. So the dilemma that John faces, as most people who turn age 65, is what should you do for health insurance? And I'm not a health insurance agent, and I want to claim that right from the beginning.
Maybe we should bring somebody in next week.
Well, that's a good point. But John, the way I understand it, and this is what I understand, and I'm just going to give you that and take it as what I understand, is that you get Medicare Part A for nothing, okay? If you don't choose Medicare Part B right off from the get-go, then you can choose it later, but the cost is astronomical because you waited those years to pick it up, and there's a penalty for doing that. And so Medicare Part B is the doctor's side, and what they do is they deduct so much from your check. Now, if you get a supplement, okay, if you go Medicare, straight Medicare Part A and a supplement like through AARP, that AARP supplement covers the 20% that Medicare doesn't cover. So if you come to see me and I charge you $1 million for that office visit, and I say it facetiously, and Medicare says, well, thank you, Dr. Reiner, but we're only going to allow $120 for that visit, okay? And so they pay 80% of that, okay? They pay about $80 or whatever that happened, the number happens to be. And then they send John a bill for the 20%. Now, if you have a supplement policy, Medicare automatically bills a secondary policy, and then they pay me the 20% of what Medicare has allowed for that charge, not what I charge. So you want to pick a doctor that accepts assignment for Medicare, and what that means is I accept Medicare's charges for a visit. If a doctor does not accept assignment, then they don't get paid as fast, but the doctor can bill you. If he charges you $300 and Medicare pays $100, he can charge you the $200 and probably will. Okay, those are the very specialties that don't. Now you're getting into Medicare Part D, which is a prescription plan. Okay, and a prescription plan is basically monitored the same way as all the HMO plans that are actually sold by the HMO plans, and they have the donut holes and they have certain formularies and things of that nature. I don't know that much about that. Sometimes if you're not sick and you don't take a lot of prescriptions, a Medicare Part D plan is not really that big a deal, but if you do take a lot of medications, you need to spend some time. And usually some of the supplemental plans will also sell you the Part D plans, which allow you to have prescription coverage, but trust me, it's not all that it's crapped up to be. Now, the advantage with Medicare plain Medicare and a supplement is portability. You can go to whoever you want to go to whenever you want to go to them. Okay, if you join Humana out here, you're going to join Healthcare Partners. And the only advantage I see over Healthcare Partners is they do have a plethora of specialists that do come up to the area. They are building that brand new, beautiful building up there. But you're relegated to their doctors and their doctors only, because it's called an Independent Physicians Association. And that means that they have all the doctors under the umbrella. They pay those doctors, okay, and that's who you see. If you want to go to ear, nose, and throat, they have one, but it's their doctor, okay? Sometimes that gets into a little bit of a conflict in my mind because, you know, they all work together to control costs. Well, I don't know that I really want to control costs. I want service. I want to get into who I need to, and I don't want to have this, I always say, you know, it's the irresistible force meeting the unmovable object, right?
Yep.
And who's going to win in that situation. So, but then again, the other side of that coin, John, is that if you go to a surgeon, an orthopedic doctor who's fee for service, he's going to be itchy. He's going to be itchy to get you in the operating room because that's how he gets paid. So, you have that balance in there, which is, where you win it. So you just have to go into the situation informed. Personally, I don't take Humana. Never believed in that model. I do take Senior Dimensions, which is another umbrella company. But plain Medicare Part A and B, that you have a supplement, gives you to go to anybody you want to go to. And I think for the first year, that's the way to go until you figure it out on what you want to do, because you can always join an HMO later.
Yep.
But here's the deal. You are Medicare Part A, B with a supplement, and then you go and join an HMO. If you decide to go back to Medicare, which you can do every year in October is open enrollment, right? You can choose a new plan in October, which goes into effect January 1. And that you're locked into that pretty much, unless you have a good reason to get out. You're locked in that till next October, so it's a calendar year. Because they used to have people that would sign up with Senior Dimensions before Humana was here. They sign up and they didn't like the surgeon, so they'd call up Medicare and say, I want out. Then they go get their surgery, and then they come back to Senior Dimension. So they were bouncing all over the place, and then Medicare said, well, we got to put a stop to that. So that's when they had this enrollment period that you're on. And I think that you just got to educate yourself what who's being paid off to do what. Nobody gets paid any extra when you're on Medicare Part B and you get a supplement. Okay, there's nobody making money, but some of these other insurance companies, they pay pretty good for people to enroll you, and there's no other choice with Humana out here.
Yep.
You either IPA or you're not because of the way I think that they're paid. Nothing against their doctors. Their doctors are fine. I hear complaints either way. I never see the same guy, and you come into me, and you got to wait 2 hours to see him, and he takes forever. So let's face it. I mean, this is the problem with having a small amount of doctors in a retirement community. But I like Creig because there's no waiting in his office. I mean, you get in, you get out. He has a great system, and you feel better when you leave too.
Yep.
My office, you get 2 hours on your ass, and you feel sore when you leave, and you didn't get anything but a piece of paper.
That's why we're going to put exercise equipment in your waiting room.
Yeah. So I admit it. I'm guilty as charged. So I hope you like that explanation, and we're going to come back. And if you didn't, call me back after the break. We'll be right back.
Thanks, John.